Hello and welcome back to Tea and Tice, a Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net and the Jonas Podcasting Network. I am your host, the Great British Otaku, Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to most. And of course, I am joined, as always, by the Mohawk himself, Big Daddy Dan.
Hello, everybody.
That's just Dan for short. How are we doing, Dan?
Yeah, we're okay. Had a good weekend. Got to see some amazing wrestling again. I seem to have found a way of winding up one of the wrestlers, which isn't too good. But we shall see where that goes.
Well, you just keep doing it. I just don't understand, Dan. How do you keep just doing it?
Well, I think that possibly, God, this is going to drop me right in it. Possibly H Hood is a little oversensitive, and possibly Riley Nova is a little oversensitive. But we shall find out. We shall find out.
We should find out. When Big Daddy Dan tells us about his incredible weekend, announcing once again for Phenomenal Elite Wrestling. PEW, one of our favorite little promotions out there. Of course, we've got lots to talk about, plenty of news. We do have a 10-minute watch along. We've got some reviews, of course, and we're going to be previewing just for next weekend, and we'll be doing a full look ahead next week for everything kind of coming your way in March as we come to the end of the month. We will also be giving our top 5 performers, top 5 matches, and top 5 shows that we have seen. So keep an eye out on it. And of course, last week we did answer questions from the comment section. This is something we would like to make a regular thing right now. We would love for you to drop your questions in the comment sections. We would love for you to drop questions to us on Twitter or wherever you want to get a hold of us. Put your questions down and we will do our best to answer them as honestly as possible. Of course, this is Brit Wres questions. And if we can maybe have some questions that don't involve progress all the time, just throwing it out there. And of course, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and share with your friends. Let them know that this is the best source of British wrestling news, British wrestling previews, and British wrestling reviews out there. Right, let's get going. Right, first of all, Drew Parker is apparently retiring from death matches
Until his next one.
Well, his next one is going to be his last one.
In wrestlers always say they're never coming back and then come back way, or do you think there's a reason behind this?
Possibly a reason behind it. We'll get into it. The release statement that he put out on Twitter, that he says he thought about it long and hard, but I've decided that I'm wrapping up death matches. Got a million thoughts on the whole situation, and anyone close to me knows that this has been coming for a while. But while it just isn't for me right now, my match with John Wayne Murdoch at GCW in March will likely be my last death match. Full stop. So there is a likely in there. But
you have a theory, don't you?
I have a theory. Drew Parker is an immensely talented young man, and I would not be surprised if there are a couple of large promotions sniffing around Drew Parker.
Do you think US or Japanese?
I think probably US. I think I do. But yep, we'll have to wait and see. I know he's a very, very talented wrestler, a very, very talented deathmatch competitor. He's still very young as well, to be honest. So maybe this is just him prolonging his career. But I have a feeling that It's probably going to lead to something big, and that'd be amazing to see.
Maybe he's lost his darts sponsorship.
Maybe he's lost his start sponsorship. But of course, whatever Drew Parker decides to do, he will always have the support of guys like us and his fans out there. And we look forward to finding out what the next chapter is going to be for Drew Parker, whatever it may be.
Oh, that's exciting.
Indeed. There's a bunch of Brit stars continuously going into Europe at the moment.
Who are we losing this weekend?
Well, not quite. Well, I can tell you about a couple of shows coming up this weekend in Europe that will feature a lot of Brit Wres talent. But coming up in April, between the 17th and the 25th of April in France, Chris Ridgway and Just Joe Lando will be part of a training seminar for 5 days over in France as part of the I think it's Rixe Catch Wrestling, Rixe, I believe just probably Rise in French. Of course, they will be training alongside Jack Sonsnom, Jack no name, Antoine Bernard, and Jean Michael. Obviously very big names in France, but Just Joe Lando and Chris Ridgway are going to be helping out in a 5-day seminar. I mean, they both offer something completely different, don't they?
They do, very much so. No, I think that's absolutely brilliant. It's good to see the British style of wrestling being used all over the UK, all over the world.
Indeed, because Chris Ridgway is going to be able to teach him the strikes and that incredible grappling, and then Just Joe Lando, just a phenomenal athlete, one of the best high flyers in the UK and Europe. So if you got a few days and you want to head to France, and why not? Hey, why not? What do you think?
Lucha Libre Barcelona.
In Barcelona on the 14th of April, so just before this, there are going to be several British stars making their way to Barcelona, Spain. Well, they'll be competing for a Lucha Libre Barcelona show. All these stars include Robbie X, Leon Slater, Myla Grace, Nightshade, JJ Gale, and Aluna Blue. It is €5 entrance.
That's cheap.
It is, and flights out to Barcelona are just £25 the day before, and it was the flight home though that's killing it. I need to get my VPN working, pretend I'm in Spain, and book a Barcelona flight to the UK for cheap, because they're coming up at like 250 it's about £150, and that's if you want a direct flight at least. Anyway, there are a couple of stopovers, but not worth it. But yeah, I mean, if you got VPN, can get a cheap flight back from why not go to Barcelona for a few days and catch some British wrestling stars while you're at it? Barcelona's Spain, April. Weather should be good.
So my brother's over there at the moment.
And as I say, with this weekend coming, there is a lot of shows in Europe that are featuring a lot of British wrestling talents, and of course, we will talk about that when we do the weekly preview. North NCL have got an exciting announcement.
They have indeed. They have announced where you can watch North NCL, and it's on a proper big platform because they will be streaming their shows via Fight TV.
Yeah, more news to come on when that starts, what type of pricing package will be available. I mean, they run around 10 shows a year, so they're not bad for a monthly fee. We'll have to bring the Poppin' of the Boys back, pop the crowd back on, because I'm sure they'll know a few more details about it, because I know they've got the ins with North Wrestling NCL. So we'll bring the Poppin' the Crowd boys back on, and we'll find some more details about North NCL.
Yeah,
they can't draft to save their lives, but they're great guys. 1PW.
They've announced their second show for Lincoln on the 10th of June, The Devil's Due. It's not their second show, though, is it? It's the second show for Lincoln.
Yeah, second show in Lincoln. Of course, they just had their second show, which was their first show in Lincoln. They're back in Doncaster on April 22nd. The next show following will be the June 10th show in Lincoln, where we could see new tag team champions, because the tag team championship match has been set for April 22nd at the No Turning Back show. The Doncaster Dome, and it will be a fatal four-way ladder match that will involve Subculture, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Ace Austin, The Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, and Boisterous Behavior, Leon Slater and Man Like Doris. And I'm going to praise this match so much in just 1 second. There's one thing that slightly disappoints me.
Go on.
A missed opportunity to also have the CPF boys in that match. Danny Black and Just Joe Lando, or Callum Newman and Just Joe Lando, or Callum Newman and Maverick, or Callum Newman and Danny Black, or Danny Black and basically any formation of the CBF. I think it's just a little bit, but what a match!
Yes, international highlight reel that one will be. Wales versus the US versus the US versus the 0121.
Indeed, it's going to be absolutely, that is going to be a massive match, and certainly one of the reasons I will be at this Doncaster Dome show. I'm not going to ask for press passes. I'm just going to pay my tickets and just go try and catch some video or things, but they might tell me off apparently. But no, it's going to be a great show. There's so many stars coming to this one. We mentioned them last week. You got Lance Archer, you got Bobby Fish, John Morrison's, I believe, is going to be back in action. Again, as I say, I feel like they've got this in with Impact Wrestling at the moment. I think you got D'Lo Brown as official, and I think so. I think there's some great. I think they're finding their little niche, aren't they?
Very much so. They are putting on really great shows, really amazing talent. They are a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, and their last show is soon going to be available, and it's going to be available on the Premier streaming network, where you'll also find Wrestle Carnival. But Soft Pro, our good friend Soft Pro, he obviously went to their last show. It was fantastic. They have announced they've now announced 2 matches for their upcoming Warpath show on the 8th of April. So Soft Pro Warpath are going to be slightly smaller shows. So there are actually only 200 seats available for these ones. So if you want tickets, you better get in there quick. Because they've announced some absolute bangers already. No, in fact, 3 bangers.
They have indeed. Leon Slater is going to have a match with Kenny Williams. I'm looking forward to that.
Very interesting matchup. Be interesting to see how that one goes down indeed. The Women's Championship will be on the line as LA Taylor, member of the Collective. She'll be defending against Lucia Lee, who has been really making a mark on Soft Pro Wrestling. And a number 1 contendership match has just been announced. Nathan Cruz versus Sam Gradwell versus Will Cruz. And as I say, the winner of that match will be next in line to face Soft Pro champion Joseph Connors. It's a big meaty matchup, that one. I like that one.
Me too. I've got more news about Joseph Connors later, actually. Another big bit of Soft Pro news that was announced that we didn't mention last week, because I think the news came out the day after we recorded this, was their phenomenal rental deal.
Yeah, no, we did talk about it of the £5 to see their last show. I mean, it's just that's an absolutely fantastic deal to see there at that last show. I was at that last show. It was a blinder of a show. There are, every match was really good. And I don't mean to just any match by saying that there were 4 matches that, really stood out to me. And that was Endokara versus Leon Slater. Simon Miller versus Joseph Connors was a championship match, which was so much better than what I thought it would be. The Sam Gradwell Brady Phillips was fantastic, and of course Josh Alexander versus Kez Evans, excellent matches. Thoroughly recommend getting this for £5. Plus Smashing Mike versus Ian Skinner and Smashing Mike's dad, who I met later, very nice guy. But it was a fantastic show for £5 right now. I'm going to talk about what's coming up for ICW and their price plan for the pay-per-view a little bit later. But let us know your thoughts on pay-per-view prices, how much you're willing to pay in the comment sections. Let us know, do you think shows should only be $4.99? Are you willing to pay $15.99 for a video on demand after the show? Are you willing to pay $14.99 for a live pay-per-view? Are you willing to pay $9.99 for pay-per-view? Rev Pro are doing $6.49 and you can watch their shows live a month. Let us know what you think is the pricing point for you. How much you're willing to spend, because we would love to know.
Slam Masters! Our friends at Slam Masters in Wales have had to rejig their Back to the Banking Hall show in Cardiff on the 12th of March. And they've rejigged it rather well. It's got a great lineup, including Man Like Doris versus Doug Williams, Zaya Brookside versus L.A. Taylor, Lizzie Evo versus Danny Luna, The Greedy Souls taking on the Subculture, Kid Lycos versus The Wild Boar, and Nico Angelo versus Jack Selstrom. 2 more matches are yet to be announced.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about basically the best of Welsh Talon that went to NXT UK but are now back against what is the current crew of the best of Welsh talents in the guys like Nico Angelo, the Greedy Souls. I know Kid Lycos isn't Welsh, but we'll throw him in there anyway. Because I think that is a hell of a lineup, and it's going to be a great show. And I was planning to go to this show, actually. I really was. I had money set aside and everything, and I got hit with an unexpected bill. And here's like that my money.
We were both just discussing this because I've just been hit with a massive car bill because I have a wonderful French car. And French cars are designed specially.
Yeah.
Apparently, the rear brakes of my car also have the wheel bearings inside the brakes.
Indeed. Good old French. United Wrestling. I'll let you do this one. I know you're going to be hyped for this match coming up on.
I am, because Memes won the United Championship at the Day 9 event, Day 8 event, and it was announced immediately afterwards that his first defense will be against the spectacular twat, Mr. Charles Crowley. And that will be at Day 9, Future Proof, on the 9th of April in Oxford.
So for those that maybe not aware, not on social media as much as some of people like myself and Dan, there is a huge history between Memes and Charles Crowley. I think it all goes back to Ultimate British Wrestling, doesn't it, over in UBW, where they both really came up as performers.
It did, and then it crossed to Sacrifice Pro. It's been all over the south of England, and Memes has just won this belt, and Memes is getting into phenomenal shape at the moment. He's dropped several stone. He is toning up. He is looking fantastic, and he's moving even faster. And for a big guy, the speed that he can move is great. I'm really looking forward to this match.
Very interesting gimmick as well. Oh, wrestling memes. So I think he's a very talented performer. Didn't they used to be a stable at one point as well?
I believe so, but I honestly don't know.
That's a little further back than when we really started getting into the whole scene as a whole, where we started to realize just how deep the scene goes over here in the British wrestling scene. Well, I'm going to skip it over back to Europe, and we're going to talk about another person going to Europe from the UK. It is Leighton Buzzard, and he will be defending his ICW championship at WXW 16 Carat Gold during their WXW and Friends showcase, which features several different promotions. And he's going to be facing off against Canadian superstar Vaughn Vertigo,
who ICW fans will be aware of because he has wrestled on ICW shows before on Fight Club.
Yes, and I believe he's due to actually be on the next Fight Club that happens just before WXW 16 Karat Gold.
Sweet.
So let's get on to the 16 Karat Gold news. Is coming soon, and I will do a really in-depth one next month about the WXW 16 Karat Gold, because it is just, it's always one of Europe's biggest wrestling events that you can really come across. And Norman Harras, or Herr Norman Harras, is the sporting director. He's been making Lavaniel's life hell on his journey from becoming number one contender to winning the championship and so forth. And he decided that to make this 6 years 16 Karat bigger than ever, that the winner of the 16 Karat will become the new unified WXW champion. However, current champion Lavaniel had yet to be announced for 16 Karat Gold. Which kind of leads me on to WXW We Love Wrestling, a road to 16 Karat, where they usually always hold a little qualifier for some of the younger guys, for somebody to get in there and get it. And Lavaniel was entered into this qualifying tournament. And as I say, I will now review the show for you. He kicked it off by taking on Michael Schecklenberg, one half of Rotten Flop. Big guy, really, really big guy, extremely powerful. Lavaniel, also very big, tall. Great match. Lavaniel did come away with the win, so the champion still remained in it. He would now have to just get past that fatal four-way match final. Elijah Blum defeated Anil Marek. These are two guys from the WXW Academy, two young guys. Anil Marek is actually technically ahead of Elijah Blum because he's somebody who's already graduated, and Elijah Blum is somebody who is currently in the academy. And Bloom picked up the win here. And since Anil Marek's return since his shoulder injury, he has yet to pick up a win in WXW. Nice little story going there. Fast Time Mudo defeated Vincent Heisenberg, which was an absolute shock because Vincent Heisenberg is a monster. And but Mudo just came in. He came in vicious with his martial arts, took out the legs, and eventually great knockout kick. This was a really fun match despite the fact it was less than 10 minutes. And I missed out the fact that Uhura, the former partner of Maggot as the Pretty Bastards, also picked up a win over Alex Duke in a bit of a fun match. So in the final will be Lavaniel, Uhura, Elijah Blum, and Fast Time Mudo. But before that, we had Baby Allison and Maggot defeat Jacob Gray and Ava Everett in a mixed tag match. Decent enough match. Jörn Simmons, nice little squash match against Massimo Pesca that showed that Massimo Pesca has some really great lucha skills. He got time to shine despite it being less than 10 minutes and basically getting kind of thrown around the place by Ian Simmons. It's just huge. Bobby Guns defeated Sebastian Suave. Good technical match. Lawrence Roman, the current WXW Shotgun Champion, defended his Shotgun Championship against Academy graduate Nick Shira. Decent match. And then it was the final. Uhura, Elijah Blum, Fast Mudo, and Lavaniel. Eventually, it was really fun, great little scramble type fatal 4-way match, car crash. It's going everywhere. It's in the crowd, it's in the ring. It's just one of those type of matches. Looks like Lavaniel's going to win, but every time he hits the Galactic Face Crusher, somebody else comes in and breaks up the pin. Uhura hits his special move, gets the pin, and Norman Harris stops Lavaniel from getting in the ring to break up the pin. And Lavaniel is no longer the WXW Unified Champion. This whole Lavaniel, I know people, Sami Zayn, this whole story, Sami Zayn or Jey Uso, Lavaniel's up there when it comes to stories. It's been since the anniversary show in 2021 when he first became the #1 contender. And then he finally got his match with Askel Tiska, but he got attacked before the match and had his neck hurt during the match. And then Axel Tiska was able to pick it up. And then he fought back to win the Rumble to become the #1 contender again. And he got injured during training. But Norman Harris forced him to compete against Tristan Archer despite the fact he was injured. And made him use his #1 contendership before Lavaniel wanted to. And obviously Tristan Archer won, but then the board of directors were like, no, Lavaniel must get his proper #1 contender. He finally gets his shot and he wins. And it was amazing. And to see all this now just kind of happen and get him getting screwed over once again is one of the best stories in wrestling. I really just been one of my favorite continuous arcs in wrestling right now, because I don't watch Sami Zayn or because I can't really compare it to it, but it's been so good.
I'll do some name dropping here.
Go for it.
I was chatting with Dave Bradshaw the other day.
Oh yes, Dave Bradshaw.
As you do.
As you do.
It was the night of Elimination Chamber, and we were both saying, we're excited for Elimination Chamber. When the hell was the last time we were excited for a WWE show that wasn't the Rumble or Mania?
Yeah.
Genuinely couldn't think of it. The Sami Zayn storyline has been brilliant, and we wanted to see what would happen. So it has been very special. But let's find out, how does the 16-carat gold tournament line up?
Okay, so it is Ares Strange from GCW and Mexican Lucha. Commander, again, somebody who's performed for GCW and lots of Lucha promotions. Lawrence Roman, Francesco Akira, Masha Slamovich, Fuminori Abe, Davey Richards, Peter Tahane, Metahan, Tristan Archer, Shigehiro Irie, sorry, Trey Miguel, Maggot, Uhura, and Axel Tiska. Jörn Simmons was due to be in it, but picked up an injury and has been replaced by Mike Di Vecchio, who I think is Belgian. Might be wrong. We have now announced the first 4 matches, which is Ares Strange versus Commander, Lawrence Roman versus Francesco Akira, Masha Slamovich versus Fuminori Abe, and Mike Di Vecchio is just been announced against somebody. Yes, it's gone. I'm sure I've seen it being. Oh, there it is, against Tristan Archer. As I say, I'm sure I'll have the full first 8 matches, and I will go through. We'll do a proper little focus on the 16 carat, along with just looking ahead to what's coming in the British wrestling in the month of March. Cool. Anyway, Dan, would you like to tell me about PEW, Phenomenal Elite Wrestling? Go on, then.
I went to take part and be part of Phenomenal Elite Wrestling's show, A Brave New World Chapter 2 in Stratford-upon-Avon last weekend. We started off with the Martini Maestro, Chase Alexander, taking on James Mason, the prolific James Mason. Good match. Chase is hated massively. James Mason is loved universally. So it was a good match. Crowd loved it. Really good. Chase won and decided to call out another well-known established British wrestler with a history. Chase Alexander has called out Joseph Connors for the next show. Ooh. I'm looking forward to that. It should be very, very good. We then had a tag team match. Lance Rivera and Franco Fate took on Ryden and George Lydon. Ryden and Lydon make an excellent tag team. If you go to any wrestling shows in the sort of the Leicester Midlands area, keep your eyes open for those two boys. They are great. We all know how good Lance Rivera is. And Franco Fate was brilliant as well. So all in all, very good match. We then had Smashing Mike defend the PEW Internet Championship against Kian Fox. Bless him. Mike did get a bit battered in this one. Kian was all over him.
Well, Kian was all over him in the first one as well.
Yeah. But again, he did get beaten by the Smashing one.
Go on, Smashing. We
do love Smashing Mike, and I am really looking forward to H Hood coming back and going for that belt. I hope that happens.
He deserves another shot.
We then had the Entitled come out, led by Martin Kirby, to announce that unfortunately Big Jim Diehard was not going to be there. He was out on secret business, so wasn't going to be there. So they needed somebody to stand in for them and audition to be a member of the Entitled. So Brady Phillips and Riley Nova were joined by Adam Bolt.
Fantastic young man.
Do you know Adam Bolt well?
I know. I've seen Adam Bolt in a few matches, Wrestle Carnival. I got to see him live at TNT Extreme. Very, very phenomenal young talent. Going places this young man is.
Yes. And they took on a team of Big Daddy Unicorn, Jason Joshua, the Ugandan Warrior, and Serico, and Styx.
Ooh, Styx.
Yeah. Styx was very jealous of my mohawk. This was a great match. Adam Bolt is very funny. He is excellent. Think of Spike Dudley at his most comedic, and you're getting roughly where you are with Adam Bolt. Really good match. Unfortunately, due to miscommunication between the Entitled and Adam Bolt, they lost. They were soundly beaten by the team of the baby faces, Jason Joshua, and Serico and Styx. It's very good. Brady and Riley then beat down Adam Bolt post-match until his tag team partner came in to save the day. We then had the women's match, Ivy versus Harley Hudson. This match, Ivy came out on her mobile phone and was filming the crowd and had to be announced as not a Karen. And Harley Hudson beat her down and took my mobile phone off me to record her beating down Ivy, which I will make sure we share at some point. I'm now going to have to find the list of all the members of the Rumble. I did note them all down. Give me just one moment. because we then had the 16-person Rumble match, 16-person Rumble match, and it was ZZ, Lance Rivera, Franco Fate, Joey Hayes, Sasha, Big Money Cash Sash, Riley Nova, The Invisible Man, Drake Winter, and then we had a big surprise. Doug Williams came out. That's a big surprise.
Big surprise.
Yeah. We then had Smashing Mike, the Vegan Prescott with Porkus, Kyle Kingsley, Ryden, TJ Sky, Jackie T, who is tag team partner of Adam Bolt, and then Jason Joshua was number 16. Great match, and the last four in the ring were Smashing Mike, Doug Williams, Kyle Kingsley, and Lance Rivera. And your winner is Lance Rivera. He has a golden ticket to claim a shot at any belt within Phenomenal Elite Wrestling within the next year.
Interesting.
We then had our final match of the night, which had been building up for a long time. Jack Selstrom versus Martin Kirby, with the Elite banned from ringside. So you know what's going to happen, don't you?
They all came out to ringside.
And
Referee bump.
Yeah. And they beat down Selstrom. And then out came the Prestige to say, no. I told you that you'd be stripped of your belt, so you're stripped of your belt. But Jack Selstrom said, no, I don't want to win like that. I want to win properly. So he demanded they restart the match. And they restarted the match. And he did win properly. And your new Phenomenal Elite Wrestling tag team, heavyweight champion of the world is Jack Selstrom.
Congratulations, Jack Selstrom.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Excellent.
All in all, I would give this a 4-star rating, and please do watch it because the quality of the wrestling again is just going up and up and up and up. And Ivy is just awesome.
But I heard that you made a little snafu.
Now, it might have been...
You forgot to mention that.
It might have been that when I was announcing Riley Nova...
The never pale alpha male.
The never pale alpha male. And then I got a bit of a frog in my throat. And then said Riley Nova, who got very annoyed at me and came out and took the microphone in a very angry way and then introduced himself and Brody Phillips properly, then came over and slammed the mic into my chest. That's the second time in a row that's happened. He is not happy with my announcing.
He's like 6'3". Don't. You're not as big, Dan. or are you level?
We're actually level.
You're level.
It's just that he's, fit
he's
and muscular and knows how to wrestle. And I am a slob in a suit with a microphone who does not know how to wrestle.
He is the never pale alpha male, Riley Nova. Oh, I can't believe you tried to leave it out as well.
Oh, no, I didn't announce that. It was just his actual name that I sort of left out.
No, I'm saying you left out in your telling of the event. It's just I couldn't let you get away with it.
Oh, I nearly got flattened as well. A tag team rushed the ring, and I did not know that was going to happen. And I had to dive out of the ring. I have not moved so quickly in a very long time.
I cannot wait to see it when it becomes available, and it will be free on YouTube as per usual with PEW. I'm probably assuming in the next week. They are usually pretty good again. Their shows out quite quickly, so look forward to sitting down and watching that. But two shows that I did sit down and watch over the weekend were Progress, Establish Your Love, which was their Manchester show, which kicked off with Ali Catch defeating Session Moth, thankfully without a knife in this match. Alexis Falcon and Millie McKenzie defeated Lizzie Evo and Nina Samuels. Good tag team match. Warren Banks and Kid Lycos had a very good match, but with the way Lycos is being at the moment, it's interesting. Danny Luna and Raven Creed then defeated LA Taylor and Sky Smithson. LA Taylor looked absolutely dominating throughout the match. They actually had Session Moth Provider's distraction to get rid of LA Taylor to keep her sort of like aura going. So Danny Luna and Raven Creed got the pin over Sky Smithson. The 0121 defeated the CPF in a 4-on-4 match. That was Dan Maloney, Man Like Doris, Leon Slater, and Omari as the fourth member of the 0121. I like seeing a new member in the 0121. Omari, of course, part of that talent crop that was growing up, and current OTT champion as well. This was car crash wrestling at its best. Lucha rules, where they can just get in and out the ring willy-nilly as long as there's always just one or two people. It was fun though, and the crowd absolutely responded to it. You could tell everybody was off their feet at the end of the match, just giving round of applause for all 8 men in that match, who they were quick to point out later on Twitter that nobody in that match was over the age of 25 years old. Yeah, I know. Maggot got the win over Tate Mayfair's in the and Warhorse in 2-bit. Fun fatal 4-way. Luke Jacobs defeated Kid Lycos 2 in a very, 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 very good match. Really, really good match. Bullet and Spike Trevay then beat G Money and Tom Dawkins. You also had the Smoking Aces draw. It was a count out before they broke his eye socket. They had already been double counted out, and then he broke their eye socket afterwards. So it's good. That was also a fantastic tag team match. Just really, really was. Just the Smoking Aces. Yeah, I haven't seen them in a little while, and it was great to see them back in action because they were just brilliant. And Sunshine Machine, just keep having great match after great match, and
won't be for a little while.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the tag team titles and what we don't know, but the Smoking Aces have joined Spike Trevay and Bullet, and they are now a little group of 4. So what do you think of the Smoking Aces joining Spike Trevay?
Well, I think that's pretty awesome because they are big, intimidating, excellent wrestlers, and it means that you have what I love to have in a decent stable: a tag team, a main guy, and then you just need the heater. Oh yes, they've got Bullet.
Yep, they've got everything. It's a fantastic faction. I agree. It's just 4 amazing talents and so well suited as well for each other. I think the Smoking Aces really fit in the whole aesthetics. They do have a name. It's some weird Latin thing. I can't remember what it was. I saw it on Twitter, but I can't seem to find it at the moment. But yeah, very, very good show. Really good show. If I was to give the show a score, I would give it 3.75.
I remember when we started this podcast and we swore we would only do maybe halves. Maybe half ratings.
Well, but we're watching so much and seeing so much, and sometimes it is literally just a little fine margin that we've had to stick. You have to have the 2.25 and the 0.75 in there.
You can't have 0.75 sugars in your tea.
It's 3 3 3/4. It's fine.
Talk about Rev Pro.
Okay, Rev Pro, this was really good. Danny Jones defeated Robbie X with a little help from Brendan White. Good bullying match. I Danny Jones as a singles comparer, as a tag team. It's just, I love the way he roughhouses his opponents. I watched a very recent one against Lawrence Roman at WXW Academy show, and they really got, just in the collar and elbow tie up, and it was so aggressive, and they were just battling back and forth. Danny Jones really has that. The Legion defeated Lycos Jim thanks to shenanigans, because Lycos Jim no longer do shenanigans. JJ Gale defeated Will Caven in a little bit of a little one-upsmanship, of course, both from the Portsmouth Academy of Wrestling. Dan Maloney defeated Luke Jacobs, very strong matchup. Interesting finish where they had Dan Maloney pull down the turnbuckle as Luke Jacobs went for a chop and chopped it, so he chops the metal turnbuckle and then he gets a roll up
That's
to win the
different.
match. Yeah, different. Michael Oku and Cameron Kai. Cameron Kai is like 16 years old from the academy, a fantastic young little competitor, somebody to keep an eye on. Yoda Tsuji and Leland Slater had a very good match that involved high flying lucha and Yoda Tsuji just slapping the crap out of Leon Slater. But Leon Slater gave a good few slaps back himself. But we all know about Yoda Tsuji's slaps. And then Will Ospreay took on ICW champion Leighton Buzzard in an incredible match. Really good match. Will Ospreay brought another level out of Leighton Buzzard, and I look forward to seeing Leighton Buzzard take that another level and keep pushing it in other matches. He got on the mic afterwards and told Mr. Quilden that he wants Leighton Buzzard as a full-time member of the Rev Pro UK roster. After which he talked about the Rev Pro UK roster and asked people for who's out there who's going to challenge him. He's also going to be in the Rumble match on March 25th at the Revolution Rumble for Rev Pro UK at the York Hall. He's going to be part of the 30, and he's possibly going to be facing Dan Maloney, because it was Dan Maloney who came out, and Will Ospreay then cut a promo on Dan Maloney and said, Dan Maloney, you literally beat Luke Jacobs with a roll-up. Well, why should I face you right now? You had to cheat, and then he said, you know what, fine, I want the best. I want the best in Birmingham, and you know what, on Birmingham, I want Luke Jacobs. So we're going to get Will Ospreay versus Luke Jacobs in Birmingham. We'll talk about that shortly because it's going to be a banger. So that really pissed Dan Maloney off, of course. And then Will Ospreay then kept cutting a promo on him. Said, look, you failed to become a heavyweight champion. You failed to become the cruiserweight champion in Rev Pro UK. And then he said, and you know what the reason is? Because you're too busy pissing about with the 0121.
Ooh.
Indeed. And but he said that he will possibly face Dan Maloney also at the Revolution Rumble, as long as Dan Maloney beats everybody that Gideon Gray puts in front of him. So he has to win every match if he wants to. So every match up until that March 25th. He's going to have a hand-picked opponent, and it's going to possibly. So.
Just, we haven't seen that recently on television, have we, AEW?
Oh, well, they Rev Pro UK have been doing it a lot as well, to be honest, because Rev Pro UK literally did it with Will Ospreay versus Michael Oku and Will Ospreay versus RKJ, where they literally kept having to fight the United Empire members or the Legion members before the match. And the same actually with but anyway, it's very interesting, and I wonder if anything will come from that comment regarding the 01 2-1. Just interesting. So, Dan, give me your top 5 matches of the last, month.
The last month. Oh, right, okay.
Actually, we'll save that and we'll do that next week at the beginning of the month. That way we cleared the whole month as well, because it'll be this weekend as well. So why don't we, next weekend, we'll be giving you our top 5 performers, our top 5 matches, and our top 5 shows for the month of February.
That sounds good, mate.
Right, let's watch. Do you think we got time? I think we've got time. It's 10 minutes. It's on your link. You ready?
Give me a countdown. Give me 1 second.
So this is Leon Slater versus Jack Bandicoot from Planet Wrestle Entertainment and their first show, which was just a couple of weeks back. I know there were some very other good matches on this card. I have not seen this match yet, but I just thought 2 great young competitors. It should be a fun match to watch. Obviously, we'll be talking about the 2 competitors whilst we watch this match.
I have it open.
Ready? It's loading and it's did not play straight away. So play.
Oh, what a haircut!
Indeed. Have you haven't really seen much of Jack Bandicoot, have you? He's been hidden away in the north.
I have not seen that much of Jack Bandicoot. I didn't realise that he'd had that ink on his back. I'd missed that.
Yeah, it's an impressive tattoo on old Jack Bandicoot, but yeah.
Ooh. Leon's a bit flippy.
Yeah. Got to show it off and a bit of dance. Leon certainly got the height advantage in this match. Jack Bandicoot does not stand very tall, does he?
He doesn't, but he is looking ripped at the moment.
He's absolutely ripped and yeah, definitely makes it up. You can see the crowd are behind Bandicoot.
Yep. Oh, and Bandicoot is doing the very intimidating knee wobble dance.
Because Jack Bandicoot, normally part of tag team Crash Boat alongside Jake Silver and Rebecca Resner as well. We've had Crash Boat on our show before. Jack is an extremely fun little chat we had because we started talking about rap while you and Jake talked about the Rock. Me and Bandicoot talked about rap. Good taste in music.
Very much so. Lots of good groundwork there. The speed of the pair of them was very, very good.
I love the shorts on Bandicoot.
Mm-hmm.
Got the old what's it called? The Ooga Booga mask.
Yes. I mean, build-wise, at the moment, Jack's sort of reminding me a bit of Speedball Mike Bailey there.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely got it looks like he's ready for an MMA match, doesn't he?
Yes. Leon looks a bit more like he's ready to play basketball.
Indeed, with the I believe it's Orlando Magic inspired
Very good.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, somebody go check this out. Is it the Orlando Magic it's representing, or is it it's a star? Could be the Lone Star. I don't know. Who knows? But, it looks like Jack's got the muscle, but with the height advantage, you'd probably say they're about equal in power, wouldn't you?
I would. But you got to bear in mind, Leon, as soon as he bulks, he is just going to be unstoppable. I think they're going to have a race now. Let's see. Jack's going against the rope and shoulder block and manages to get Leon to fall back there. Well, let's see what happens in return.
No, he's going to give him one more time. Now they pick up the pace. Ooh,
and Leon puts Jack on his ass this time.
After Jack got a bit springy. Nice little to and fro reversals.
I could have danced all night.
And nope.
Oh, beautiful neck breaker over the ropes there. And is he going to skin the cat? He's going to skin the cat.
Oh, that was innovative.
It was kind of like a reverse senton.
Yeah. So yeah, basically he's skinning the cat. Jack Bandicoot there, skinning the cat to do a backflip senton onto Leon. Very innovative. I have talked about seeing Jack Bandicoot be a very, very innovative wrestler. The speed of these two, the camera can barely keep up.
Judging by the height in there, I think Jack will be the only one that can go to the top rope.
Yeah, I was going to say, how tall is that ceiling?
Oh, massive drop kick from Leon there. Absolutely rang his bell. But only gets a 2 count.
Fun, very fun match so far. You can definitely see this would be his type of match. The younger crowd could really get interested in. Of course, the die-hard crowd as well for this high-speed cruiserweight style wrestling that is just popular.
And you can
Leap
really
on Leon.
Go on about high-speed wrestling with Leon doing the Fargo struts there.
That was just the leap he got on that splash is incredible. Back dancing again, and it's cost him.
And of course, you can watch this match for free on YouTube. We will be putting a link. And Leon's so quick.
Yeah, Planet Wrestle Entertainment on YouTube. As I say, this is free to watch. No commentary in the match, but big splash again, diving over the ropes.
But you don't need commentary with this kind of match.
There you go. Bandicoot just letting you know it was 2.
He's holding his ribs there.
I am not surprised. Leon again spending a bit too much time dancing.
And gets kicked in the knee for his actions.
But he's keeping on top at the moment.
Nice jaw breaker there.
That ink on the back is impressive, isn't it? Is it a cobra?
I can't tell, but I like it.
I thought it looked like a coiled cobra for a minute, but I might be completely wrong. Leon there questioning whether he's got room for the move. What's he going for?
I think we're going for delayed suplex. Let's see. He's still got him around the neck. And over the shoulder. Oh,
he's going to go for it. Nope.
Jack locked the leg and stopped it. He's going for it again. Oh, and Jack locks the leg again.
I like the way he's locking the legs there. Again, very innovative little way he did that is he literally monkey vined it.
Yep.
Wrapped his legs completely around Leon Slater's standing leg. Very apparently he's going to put him through the roof. The referee looks a bit worried. And the crowd want it through the roof.
Oh, but he escapes his shoulder.
Looks like they have put one of their other matches on up on YouTube as well. The comedian Nathan Black versus the Ugandan Warrior and Seriko. So this will also be free to watch here on YouTube at Planet Wrestle Entertainment. So go check them out. New company up in Leeds. Inscurry
into Hurricane Runner into multiple strikes now. And cutter
great there. Little duck. And it's beautiful. Loves that duck into the cutter. Using his height to his advantage in that one.
Crowd are really behind Jack now.
which is very unusual. Normally, corrals are always firmly behind Leon Slater. So, oh, there we go again, some Leon chants. It does seem like Bandicoot does have the more favourable support, though.
Oh, beautiful kick
Ooh.
to the face there from Bandicoot. He's going to skin the cat again, going again for that move, but he's been
No.
scouted. Bang!
Beautiful reversal. With Jack Bandicoot going for that skin the cat back senton again, Leon Slater interrupted it and turned it into a Blue Thunder driver. That was really good. Really innovation from these two young men. Again, Leon Slater's not even 21 years. I think he's 18 now. Jack Bandicoot, I'm not sure how old Jack is, but I doubt he's that old. He's got a baby face. Oh. Great little. Ooh, I thought that was it there.
I did too. That was a little schoolboy there by Jack to Leon. Leon, however, has just had a beautiful roundhouse kick. Somersault into the air. Backstabber from Jack. $619 to the breadbasket. Over the top rope into Leon is now in a perilous position in the middle of the ring, and Jack goes to the top rope. What do we think is going to happen here?
Is he going to have the room for the splash? He did just do a nice downward dive. Oh, springboard back elbow. Oh, twisting suplex.
And that's the bell. 1, 2, 3. Leon Slater is your winner. Excellent match. Guys, get on YouTube. Watch that match. It's great. And it's free. We will stick a link into it.
Yeah, we'll stick a link into that. It's a really fun little 10-minute match that features two incredible young talents from a new promotion up in Leeds. As I say, Planet Wrestle Entertainment. There will be a link in the description. Highly recommend you go check this show out. Now, before we leave you, we will preview what's coming up for this weekend, coming the end of February. Starting in Rev Pro UK, live in Cardiff, their first show in Cardiff. What a lineup. Will Ospreay versus Big Damo. Danny Luna versus Sky Smithson. Leon Slater versus Francesco Akira. Greedy Souls versus Triple B. That is Nico Inverardi and Mirko Morai, a team from Italy. Dan Maloney versus Yoda Suji. Robbie X versus Harrison Bennett. And Hawk AJ versus Connor Mills. At least they put one women's match in there and as well.
Yep, that's a bonus.
What a lineup, though.
Pro Wrestling in Bedford will take on an FUTR. So we've got Alexander Roth versus Brandon Brooks, Cy Gregory, Kai Payne, and Truman Roswell, Artemis and Frankie Vegas versus Big Daddy Unicorn, Jason Joshua, Carl Kingsley, Gallas, and Morgan Black. Harrison Leon will take on Adonis. What's his last name? We don't know. Guerrilla Warfare take on Big Van Veska and Gabriel Lee. The Bromantics, Charles and Shogun, take on the Amazing Act 2, Benjamin Harland and Jack Knudsen. And Smashing Mike takes on the big man, David Grant.
And of course, remember, Sacrifice Pro do so much work for charity. They're an excellent promotion to go support. That is in Bedford. Great show. Yep. Sacrifice versus Future. British Wrestling. Saturday the 25th. British Wrestling Revolution is No Gods, No Monsters 5 in Grimsby. There will be a tag team tournament for the vacant championship. You've also got Scotty Rourke versus Tom Farewell versus Leon Slater versus Jack Bandicoot for the Cruiserweight Championship. We just saw Jack Bandicoot and Leon Slater have a match. That was incredible. Can you imagine adding Scotty Rourke and Tom Farewell to the mix? It's going to be brilliant. Will Cruz versus Charles Crowley. Miles Kamen versus Gia Adams. Big Guns Joe versus Powerhouse Blake. Man Like DeReese versus Brady Phillip. There's some excellent matches there. What's that, sorry?
Powerhouse Blake's back.
Powerhouse Blake is back. It's been a very long running storyline between Big Guns Show and Powerhouse Blake over British Wrestling Revolution. So go check out their history. Tag team, turn on each other. They're typical, but it's fun and it's great. But that looks like a great show for Grimsby.
Yeah, I just know he had it was a shoulder injury or an arm injury. It was one or the other.
I think it was shoulder injury for a long time.
Very glad to have him back. Pro Wrestling East have got their season 2 premiere in Cambridge. RJ Singh versus Peter Nixon. Charlie Morgan versus Evie Madden. Crowley, War, and Roswell take on Tommy Kyle's Flight Club. I'm sure he will be leading them from the front on crutches. Nightshade will take on Rebel Kinney. Fight and Flight, Sky O'Shaw and Vicky Two Thumbs will take on Rob Drake and Nova Knox. Kelly Van Ness versus Sapphire Reed. And the Super Raffle Brothers take on MK and FaZe from DXB WrestleFest in Dubai.
Outcast Wrestling Club, Rock You Like a Hurricane Rana in Cardiff the day after. So 2 great shows in Cardiff back to back. New promotion again, featuring some of the best performers in Wales. Billy Hayes versus Nico Angelo for the TNT Ultra X Championship. Great to see Billy Hayes getting this opportunity. Phenomenal young competitor. We've had him on twice. Lee Hunter versus Wild Boar. Danny Luna versus Rain Leverkusen. Brendan White versus Shane Hooker. And you're also going to have Elijah Fritz McPins and Harrison Bennett and more in action.
Ricach in France have got the Demi-Finale de Tournée. Would you like to introduce this one?
Yes, because this is going to have Will Ospreay versus Tristan Archer. Tristan Archer was one of the most consistent performers in Europe last year. Great matches with so many different performers. I can't wait to see him take on Will Ospreay. And their last show is available on YouTube for free. I might have to check it out, and hopefully they'll put this one on for free as well. As part of that demi-final de tournée, the semi-finals of the tournament, you've got David Francesco versus Connor Mills, and Gil Blanc versus Antoine Bernard. And Antoine Bernard defeated Charles Crowley to advance to this next round. You've also got Amel versus Baby Allison, as well as a couple more matches featuring some incredible French wrestlers. You've also got Body Slam in Denmark. This is a sold-out show. I just want to highlight a couple of matches for these guys. It's Vaughn Vertigo versus Endakara versus Eli Castle. That is going to be incredible. Vaughn Vertigo, we mentioned, great high flyer. We've talked about him, Canadian superstar. You know my love for Endakara. I've gone over it quite a few times. But Eli Castle is the Danny Black of Denmark, I would call him. He's very reminiscent of Danny Black, and I think he's going to be a top young performer in the future. In fact, I'd like to see a match between Eli Castle and Danny Black. Randers Pagne versus Easy Lovers for the Tag Team Championships. Gabriel Faust versus Valentine. Ava Everett, US superstar coming over in Europe. Has been doing a lot of tours in Europe recently with WXW. She's going to be challenging Alice Inc. for the Body Slam Women's Championship. And Metahan will be challenging Carlos Zamora for the Body Slam Championship. Plus, Emeritus and Peter Olisander will have Denmark's first death match.
Exciting times.
Indeed. Tell us about Sunday.
Sunday, February the 26th. We'll have to start with Progress when the man comes around. We have got, this is going to be the Electric Ballroom in Camden. Axel Tiska versus Mike Bird. Big Damo versus Ricky Knight Jr. for the Progress Atlas Championship. Nick Wayne versus Callum Newman in a match that makes me very excited in ways that I'm very confused about that. He's going to be so good. We have got Lana Austin versus Raven Creed. Man Like Therese versus Leo Rush. Again, woohoo. Millie McKenzie will take on Lizzie Evo. Nina Samuels will take on Alexis Falcon. It's going to be presented by SoCal Val, and our main event of the evening is not for a championship, but it is for a name. If Tom Dawkins wins, Cara Noir is back. Tom versus Spike Trevay. But if Tom loses, he has to leave Progress for good.
Interesting times. You notice we've got 2 champions in matches that don't involve their championships.
Yes.
Because Lana Austin is not defending her women's championship against Raven Creed. It is for Raven Creed to get an opportunity at possibly facing her for the championship, and for Raven Creed to get over her fear of Lana Austin, because Lana Austin kept one up in her every time for a long period. So very interesting, some great stories coming out of what's happening over in Progress Wrestling. Square Go, which will be live on Fight TV for $12.99, but that is live, so you'll be able to see it as it happens, not video on demand afterwards. You'll be able to see it live. So very interesting times for the Square Go, which of course is an over-the-top rumble, which features Dylan Thorne, Shay Monet, Aaron Echo, Stevie James, Jason Reed, Angel Hayes, Shaw Samuels, Casey, Jackie Polo, Charles Bungard. Daz Black will be the number 1 entrant. This is a 30-man rumble, so I'm sure the people we're about to mention will also be involved in the rumble. Molly Spartan versus Riho for the ICW Women's Championship. Theo Doris versus Saqib Ali for the ICW 0G Championship. KOE, Marcus King and Adam King defend their tag team championships against the Young Boys, Logan Smith and Jimmy Pierce. And in the main event, it will be Leighton Buzzard defending the ICW championship against the Scum of the Earth, Kenny Williams.
Can you imagine how it's going to be with Kenny Williams going one-on-one against Kes Evans in a who can be the biggest dick competition? It's going to be great. Title Championship Wrestling. Ace Matthews will take on Scotty Rourke. Leon Slater versus Amir Jordan versus Sam Gradwell. Harley Hudson takes on Leah Raven. Harry Singh will take on Big Guns Joe and Isaac North in a 3-way dance. Crash Boat will go up against Synergy. The Progressive Overlords will take on Valentine Spicer. Memes will take on Prince Dean, and Dynamite Lee Dawson will take on Vuzic.
Indeed. It seems like the new management seem to have a connection to the UBW guys. We're getting to see a lot of the guys from East Anglia traveling all the way up to the northwest.
Yeah.
Fun. And you've also got Rev Pro UK live in Birmingham. Will Ospreay versus Luke Jacobs. God, that is just mouthwatering. Michael Oku versus Gabriel Kidd. Pretty mouthwatering itself. Zack Knight versus Yoda Tsuji. That should be an excellent match. Danny Luna versus the Queen of Spanish Strong Style, Marie de la Rosa. And believe me, if I could travel down to Birmingham to see this match, I would. And it also has the Legion of Gideon Gray and Lucian Phillips versus Triple B, who we mentioned earlier, the Italian tag team of Nico Evervade and Mirko Moray.
Body Zoe are on in Belgium. Jack Nom versus Tristan Archer. Les Enfants Terribles versus VCC. Leon Slater versus Robbie X. CPF, represented by Lando and Black versus the Rivality, which is Ultima Sombra and MBM. And Connor Mills takes on Mike DeVecchio.
Indeed. And for our final preview, we won't do it because it is March technically, but we won't have time to fit it in. It is Thursday, the 2nd of March. It is the Fife Pro Wrestling Academy versus the New Wave Wrestling Academy. So 2 of the top schools in Scotland and Wales teaming up to put on a great show that will feature Andy Roberts versus Wild Boar. Ooh. Daisy Jenkins versus Danny Luna. Ian Skinner has told me so many great things about Daisy Jenkins. He's very adamant that she's going to be a phenomenal talent. Talon Jr. versus Nico Angelo in what will be an incredible high-flying match.
That I'm excited. I'm proper excited for.
The Woke Academy, I can't tell you who they are, unfortunately, I don't know much about them, versus the Greedy Souls. Frank Gallo versus Jason Reed. And then there's a fatal 5-way match, which has Levi Justice versus Tommy Cartel versus Ashley Vega versus Zach Swift versus Sahin, who is another member of the WrestleFest the Dubai promotion. So we're seeing some of these guys who were in Dubai who got exposure on Progress recently getting some bookings in the UK.
Yeah, it's
Good
really
things
good.
so good things can come from perceived bad things at times, but I think it's really good that the fact that we're seeing these guys coming in from Dubai and getting opportunities here in the UK, and mainly because of the exposure they got via the Progress show. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, ask us some questions. We will answer them as honestly as we can. Remember to support independent wrestling, support British wrestling, support UK, just support wrestling, support the wrestlers, and don't feed the trolls.